All right. Excellent. Come on down to seated. We'll begin seated today. And let's just take a moment to settle in. You can sit however feels comfortable for you. Use something underneath your hips like a folded up blanket or a pillow. Maybe you have a cushion or a block. Sometimes elevating the hips higher than the knees can make sitting on the ground feel a little more comfortable. Bringing one hand to your belly, if that feels good to you. And I invite you to bring the other hand over your heart area. And we'll open up our practice, feeling the breath move between these two spots. So the next time you take a breath in, see if letting the belly relax a little bit and round into your hand is possible. Can you extend that inhalation, let it last so that it can spread from there, from belly up towards your chest. And then when you're exhaling out, almost like when we're pouring water from a vessel, from like a glass, feeling the chest settle, the ribs nestle towards one another, and the belly move back towards the spine. So 2 more breaths just at your own pace. Feeling for where between your hands, from belly to heart, can you in this moment, right at the beginning of practice, sense moving or feel being touched by your breath? And from here, give yourself 3 more breaths, 3 more slow, steady breaths, still feeling with your hands and feeling inside your body with your breath. A really simple focus for our morning practice today. It's feeling for, is there anywhere inside of you today that feels like it needs to melt? Something that needs melting, something that's ready to soften. Perhaps physically, there's tension that is so ready to start to unwind today. Or perhaps it's a hardening around a thought or a belief, ready to start to unravel and move on. And of course, there could also be some place inside that feels like it is carrying an emotion that has been frozen somewhere. And that emotion is ready to start to thaw and melt and be felt so that it can dissipate and move on. So, what might we melt today? And it might just be spending the rest of our practice just feeling around inside for that, whatever that is. And as you locate something to work with, something to focus on melting, we're just using our breath and using these poses to help us start to soften. Inhaling towards that spot, kind of feeling it reach into the edges. And as you're exhaling out, maybe some part of that, some layer of that starts to release. From here, we can take our hands away from the front of our body and bring them into Baddha Konasana. Well, not our hands into Baddha Konasana, bring in our legs and our feet into Baddha Konasana. So bottoms of the feet together, knees are opening up wide left and right. And then we'll play again this week with unlocking the hips. So we're just going to do part one of unlocking the hips. Let's start with our left side. So the right hand is going to be some support on the ground. So right hand to the floor, out to the right of you. Left hand to the inner left leg. From here, as you're inhaling, spread your breath down towards the left side of your belly, the left side of your pelvis. And as you're exhaling out, gently pressing a little bit of pressure. Left hand into thigh, helping pull the thigh away from its hip. Maybe we can sense and feel that left hip sinking deeper into the earth. As you're exhaling, can the left sit bone kind of sink? Almost like you're sitting in sand. Can it settle into the ground just a little bit more? Let's give ourselves 3 more really slow breaths here, investigating around the left side hip. And another really lovely aspect of this pose is not so much that we have to get this thigh to ever meet the ground, but rather if we find just the right amount of press through not only our left hand, but also through the right. What happens if you press a little bit more into the earth with your right hand? Do you feel that there's a little bit of an assist that lifts your ribs, your torso away from your hips as well? This last breath here, noticing places along the jaw that might be ready to soften, or along the shoulders, even though we're using the chest and the shoulders and arms a little bit, can the tops of the shoulders release away from the neck at all? Now, very slow motion. Start to ease the press away. Let your torso and your head come upright to center, and we switch. Bringing the left hand anywhere on the outside of the left hip on the floor. Right hand on the inner right leg. Starting to feel around the right hip as you take your next inhalation. Aim your breath down towards the right side of the belly, towards the right side of your waist. Maybe even feeling it reach down into the hip crease. And as you're exhaling out, just the most tender application of pressure. So it's not what I find in my experience, pressing as hard as I can does not equal releasing in my hip faster. So when we're working with this idea of unwinding tension or creating change, we can really look out at nature and maybe adapt that kind of patience that we see. As all of that snow that was dumped on us these past 3 weeks are now very slowly, it's all melting away outside there here in Chicago. So for these last 2 or 3 breaths, not only feeling how you're making space around the right hip joint, but if you add that little bit of press through the bottom hand on the floor as well, can you feel how you can create space or find that space that's already inside by gently lifting your torso away from your hips, which are sinking into the ground. So hips are grounding, while torso, ribs, and spine are lengthening, buoying up towards the sky. Awesome. So really gently, slow, 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 when you're ready, ease that pressure away. Come all the way back upright. Use your hands to help the thighs back together. Let your legs extend out. Do a little bit of rotation, letting your legs and your thighs, your legs and your feet roll in and out on the floor in front of you. And then we're coming all the way down to the ground to lay on our back. So when you're ready, come lie on your back, making sure that when you lay down, you can stretch your legs out straight and not knock into anything. And see if you could also, do you have enough room to reach your arms up overhead on the floor? So you could extend out long through arms and legs down towards the foot of your mat, your spot, up above your head. If it's possible to angle yourself so that you can get that kind of reach. I'm going to take the next few moments just to settle your body into that position. And then from there, bend both knees, put your feet right on the ground. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor, about hip distance wide. A really slow inhale, spread your ribs. As you're exhaling out, feel for pressing your middle back into the ground. So there's this little bit of a rib cage adjustment. Front ribs are moving in and down towards your belly button. Middle back is pressing into the ground a little more. Really long inhale here. And as you exhale, pick up your left leg, just knee bent over the hip, and right arm up towards the ceiling. So left leg, right arm comes up. Inhale, settle the foot down, settle the hand back down. And then other side, as you exhale, right foot comes up, knee bent at a 90-degree angle. Left arm reaches up towards the ceiling right above you. Release as you inhale, foot down, hand down. Just a couple more of these. As we exhale, opposites. Exhale, left leg, right arm comes up. Inhale, reset. Exhale, right leg, left arm comes up. Inhale, reset. Exhale, left leg, right arm. Inhale, bring them back down. Exhale, right leg, left arm. Inhale to release. Hold the breath for a moment again. Press mid back to the floor. Press the right foot down as you pick the left foot up. And then bring your right hand across and put it on the front of the left thigh. And as you exhale, create a little resistance. Exhale, press your hand and your leg into each other and pull your belly in. Then let that go. Hand down, foot down. Hold the breath, press the left foot into the floor. And then as you exhale, pick the right foot up. And take that left hand across. Press it onto the thigh. Find a hand, hand to thigh. Pull belly down. Hand down, foot down. Let's do one more each side. Nice long inhale. Hold the breath, press the right foot down as you pick the left foot up. Right hand goes to the left thigh. Exhale, press your leg and your hand into each other. Pull your belly in. And set that foot down, set the hand down. One more side. Hold the inhale, press left foot down, right foot comes up, left hand crosses over to the thigh. Exhale, press hand and leg into each other. Pull belly down. And then release, let your foot come down. Let both legs stretch straight out and down. And then reach the arms up overhead. Just give yourself a moment here, feeling really long, reaching out gently through your heels, reaching up through your arms, through your fingertips. Long inhale here. And then as you exhale, start to bend your left knee. Let your hands come up and hug the left knee in towards your torso, your abdomen. Inhale to release. Arms reach up and over. Leg extends down as you're finishing that inhalation, feeling really, really long. And then as you exhale, other side. Now we're bringing the right knee in. The hands come up and over, grabbing onto the right thigh or the shin, hugging the leg in towards your torso. And as you inhale, release it back to the starting position. Leg extends down, arms extend up. Do this one more time each side. Going for that left side. When you're ready, exhale, bend left knee, hands come up and over, hug the knee in towards the torso. Inhale, take it slow as you extend the leg, extend the arms, big reach as you're breathing in. And then exhalation out, takes the right knee in. Hands come up and over, grab the right leg, hug it in. And then inhale, set the right foot flat on the floor, knee bent. Bend the left knee, set the left knee down. The left foot down, left knee bent. Take a resting breath here. Let's go for one more core move. Pick both of your feet up, knees bent over the hips. It really helps me to flex my feet towards my shins. And then arms reach up. Take a really deep inhale here. So we're playing with opposites again. Feel for pressing mid back into the floor. And as you exhale, try to go slowly. We're taking the left heel to tap the ground. We're taking the right thumb up and over to tap the ground. So left leg, right arm, and then inhale to bring them back up to their starting position. Other side, pressing mid back into the floor. As you exhale, right heel goes to tap while the left thumb reaches up and overhead to tap the floor above you. Inhale to bring them back. Couple more. Now we go left leg, right arm. As you exhale, can they move at the same rate? Can they touch down the same time? Woo! So a lot of control here. As you inhale, bring them back up slowly. Now right leg, left hand as you're exhaling. Go slow. Press mid back into the floor. Inhale back up. Last round, one time each side. Exhale, left leg, right thumb, reaching up and over, that left heel reaching down, tapping the floor. Inhale, reset. One more side, you got this. Exhaling, pressing mid back into the floor while your right heel and your left thumb tap. Inhale, bring it back up. As you exhale, use your hands, hug both of your knees in towards your torso. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. And then when you're ready, set your feet down on the floor. Coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, Baddha Konasana, laying on the back. Bottoms of the feet touch each other. Knees open up wide, left and right. Now, arms, bring your hands and arms into cactus arms, goalpost arms, whatever you'd like to imagine today. Are you a saguaro cactus? Are you a football goalpost? But my upper arms and elbows, they're coming right out from the shoulder joint, left and right, bent at the elbow. The forearms are going pointing up along the floor. Fingers are pointing the same direction that the crown of your head is pointing. Backs of the hands are touching the floor. Palms are facing the ceiling. So as we do this shoulder mobility movement here, know that it doesn't matter whether you actually touch the floor. So for some of us, the backs of our hands might actually not be touching the ground right now, and that's okay. Don't need to force anything, only go as far as feels good to you. Take a nice slow inhale here. And as we exhale, we're rotating at our shoulder joints. Let the fingers and the hands start to come up so they begin to point up towards the ceiling. Do you feel how you're rolling across your elbow? And then those palms, they start to travel down towards the floor, kind of near your waist and your hips, about that level. They might not touch the ground, that's okay. And then as you inhale, we're waving them back to their beginning position. You're rolling over the elbows. Backs of hands are now coming towards the floor, about the height of your head, right? As you exhale, start the process again. Starting to bring the fingers to point up towards the ceiling, and then they keep traveling. Palms are starting to face the ground by your hips, by your waist. And then just keep going. You can move with a synchronization to your breath, or just keep breathing as you find a pace to rotate that feels good to you. We'll do this about 3 or 4 more times, all on your own. There's no need to push or force your hands to touch the ground. Go for one more. And then bring the hands and arms, those lower arms, come part way so that you have your forearms and your hands pointing up towards the ceiling while your elbows are touching down on the ground. So it's kind of that halfway point between palms up and palms down that we were just doing. A nice slow inhale here. And as you exhale, begin to pick the elbows up off of the floor, and we're crossing the left forearm and elbow on top of the right over the chest, tapping the shoulders like you're giving yourself a little hug. And then release back to the starting position, down on the floor, elbows down, outside your ribs. And the next time you exhale, we're doing the other crossing, right over left. And giving yourself a little hug. Opening up as you inhale, uncross, bring them back to the starting position. Crossing through the exhalation, this time left on top of right, so we're switching each time. Give yourself a little hug. Inhale to open. Exhale to cross. Other side, other cross. One more time, each cross, just at your own pace. You can go really slow with this. And then when you're ready, let that go. Let your hands come down to touch any part of the outside of your legs you can reach, just to assist. your legs to close together again. And then you choose what would feel good to you, maybe with the knees bent, feet flat on the floor, or you could extend your legs straight out. Let's take 1 minute here to scan and feel. You're also welcome to come up to seated if you prefer to have this meditation moment from a seated position. And whether you're sitting or lying down, let yourself sense and feel the support of the ground here right now. Feeling inside, noticing any area that's ready to melt into the support. If what you're finding is a thought, a habitual thought or belief, or it's an emotion that you've been carrying, you may discover if you connect to that thought or feeling that there is a physical place in your body that responds to that. And then that's where we can breathe towards. Use your breath to bathe that area with attention and acknowledgement and care. Acknowledging that the melting process is messy. And so just the analogy of it's very much like the snow melting outside now. We're going into that weird, muddy, dirty snow, melty wetness everywhere, part of the winter into spring. So the places that might be melting inside of us, it's a process that might feel messy. Can we have patience? Can we practice acceptance? And then from here, we'll close our practice today just like we began, with one hand on the belly, one hand over the heart. I invite you to do that if that feels good to you. Let's take one more deep breath, internally thanking ourselves for creating this space for our practice today. Exhaling all the breath you have inside you. Let that release out when you're ready. A slow inhale to fill back up again. The very top, pause for 3, 2, 1, and then let it out with a sigh. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. You can continue resting here if you like, or come back up to sitting and move into the rest of your day as you feel ready to do. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you next time.